To be honest, I was taken aback at Thomas and his insistence that we take Bart to Jesus. I guess I just got used to Bart being the way he was. He had always been that way, right from birth. We'd grown up together, the five of us, and we just accepted it. Our whole community had just accepted it. We grew up knowing that Bart was a bit different. He couldn't get up and walk. His father had to carry him when he was young, but his father was dead now. And Bart was bigger and heavier. So we took over, me and the boys. We took a corner of his mat and took him out, normally to Galilee. He loved the lake. So we would sit by it and share stories, shared the bad stuff too. When one of you is so obviously weakened, it seems to make it okay for the rest of us to be weak too. So we were quite open about the stuff that was getting us down. Well, not Thomas so much. He's the upbeat, I can do anything type of guy. Good to have around when there's a big challenge. Not so good if you're down and just want someone to moan to. Thomas is the creative one, the ideas man, and Simeon, he's the practical one. He's the one that can take Thomas's ideas and actually make them work. He's not all bluster and brawn, he actually knows what he's doing. Then there's Thad. He's a thinker, a reader, very wise and spiritual. Slightly pessimistic. And I'm John. I'm a fisherman. I love the water. I love to take Bart out in my boat. In fact, I was just bringing the boat in with Bart when I saw Thomas on the shore waving frantically. He rushed down to help me pull the boat in. Jesus is in town! He cried. He's in one of the Pharisees' houses, just down the road. We need to get Bart to him. He healed loads of people the last time he was here. I looked at Bart. He was looking confused. I'm not sure, Thomas, said Bart. He's with the Pharisees. There's probably important stuff going on there. No, rubbish! Let's get the other two. What's more important than this? Thad and Simeon thought it was worth a shot. So we took a corner and walked down the street towards the house. That's when it really hit. There was a massive crowd outside the door. Obviously, the Pharisees' house was full to bursting and people were congregating outside the door, trying to catch the odd word of what was being said inside. We're never going to make it to Jesus, said Thad. This is hopeless. Look, maybe we can come back in a couple of hours and see if he's still here and some of the crowds are gone. No, rubbish, said Thomas. We'll do this now. Let's get up on the roof. And for some reason that none of us understood, we were following him up the outside staircase of the house. Okay. So, now what? I said. I mean, it's a lovely view and all that, but we're up here and Jesus is down there. We'll have to go through the roof. That's not going to go down well with the owner, said Thad. I'm not bothered about that, Thad. We can fix that later. Look, we'll just take some of the roof matting up and lower him down. With what? Said Thad. I mean, our arms aren't long enough. Yeah, you're right. We need rope. John, you must have some. Well, yeah. Yeah, of course I had some rope. So I ran off back home to get as much as I could find. None of the people outside the house seemed remotely interested in what we were doing. Just as well, I thought. Well, this was breaking and entering in a big way. I could hear Jesus' voice. It was muffled and I couldn't hear the words, but it was a voice of authority. No one else was saying a word. We started to pull away the layers of reeds and branches that made up the roof. I had been caught up with Thomas's enthusiasms, but now I started to have doubts enter my mind. What if Jesus didn't like being interrupted? What if the crowd got angry in there and assaulted Bart as we lowered him? What if the rope didn't hold him and we dropped this poor guy? I mean, I looked at Bart. Surely he had the same thoughts going through his head. But he didn't show it. He watched us working away at the roof with complete trust in his eyes. I mean, this was a big risk for him. But he trusted us. I loved him even more for that. Eventually, the hole was big enough for Bart's mat. We attached the rope and started to lower him. Jesus had stopped talking now. He was looking up. We held the rope steady and Bart went lower and lower. There was a considerable pain in my arms and I'm guessing all the others too. But it was overtaken by the sense of anticipation of what could happen in the next few moments. Jesus' eyes went from one of us to the other. All four of us were taken in and then such a sense of relief. If Jesus didn't like being interrupted, he had a strange way of showing it. Because he just beamed at us. And then he looked down. He looked at Bart and then said the strangest thing. My son, your sins are forgiven. Not quite the words we were looking for. And for a while my heart sank. The Pharisees started to mutter and grumble. Simeon whispered to me, "What's he saying? Only God can say that." I think the Pharisees were saying the same thing, but not the way Simeon was. He was excited and in awe. These people were incensed. Then Jesus said, "Which is easier to say? Your sins are forgiven, or get up and walk?" This is to show you that the Son of Man has the authority on earth to forgive sins. I held my breath as he turned to Bart again. He smiled at him and then those life-changing words. "Take up your mat and walk." I could feel my heart pumping in my chest. "Come on, Bart. Come on." Bart bent his knees and put the sole of one foot on the floor. He started to push up with his arms. Those around him took his arms and helped him up, then slowly let go. There was a gasp in the room. There was a gasp on the roof. The rope ends dropped from our hands. We wouldn't be needing those again. We screamed with delight and then ran down the stairs to meet our friend who was walking. Yes! Walking! Through the door.